Right then, we are live. Hello, everyone. It's Sunday night here in London. It's 7 p.m. Also saying hi to everyone on Instagram over there and everyone over here and across all of the other social medias we've got: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. So we've had loads of great questions come in throughout the week. It's been excellent, lots of engagement. We're really enjoying what we're doing here. Of course, we are promoting Life Remix, the book, which is, the book I've been working on for about 10 years. And we're really pleased that it's finally going to see the light of day come February. So that's really exciting times. Some great questions have come in, as I've said. If you want to ask a question while I'm online, I'll probably be here for half an hour or so. But if you want to ask any questions while we're online, then please do. You can hit them in the chat box. You can give us a wave. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Lots of people joining us. We've been getting about 500. We've been getting about 500 views across all of the platforms, which I'm really, really pleased with. We're obviously doing something good here. It's about remixing lives. It's about helping lives. It's about making sure that we get through this because it's definitely challenging times out there. I believe there's about 10 more days of lockdown here in the UK. And we're hoping that we can come out of it, of course, and then start to move towards Christmas and then some sort of normality, perhaps, in the new year, where we can start to, have our old lives back. So 2020 will not be remembered particularly fondly by many people, but it is what it is. We've got to move forward. So some great questions have come in. Let's get on with the first question, shall we? I've got to say a big hi to Ariane, who's watching. Hi, Ariane. How are you on Instagram? Also to Ian and Richard and Rock. How you doing, mate? It's all good. So first question came in. It said, hey, Mark, I have a question. What kept you going during the tough times you went through? What was the mindset and heart set that kept you working towards your goals even when you were bankrupt? Great question, Ariane. Great question. And you can find Ariane on Instagram. Ask Aluna anything. I love that as well. Very good. Very poignant. In line with Ask Mark anything, of course. So look, what kept me going even when I was bankrupt? It was a challenging moment. I think with the bankruptcy itself, actually what happened was that I found that not to be half as bad as the incurable disease. I'd been sick, like really, really sick, and I had collapsed, and I was in a very, very bad way. When I ended up bankrupt, it was kind of like, well, I've been through worse than this already. You know what I mean? When you've got a disease and you can't walk, that's the moment. That's the moment where the real challenge is. The real challenge was unable to walk for 18 months after being a DJ and running around the globe. That was the toughest bit, and that was before the bankruptcy. So of course, so that was the first thing that got me. And so having sort of gone through that process and dusted myself off and said, no, hang on a minute, I can do better than this. You know what I mean? Yes, I've been a DJ for 20 years. Yes, I've had a record in the top 10 and blah, blah, blah. But actually, that's not just who I am. I am a DJ and I love music and everything else, but I am so many more things than that. And there's a few things that got me through it really quickly. One of them is actually purpose, having a purpose, and being able to say to myself, no, actually, you have a purpose in life. You are not just a music man and a DJ. There's many more parts to you and your soul. So that was really important. But there's three steps. There's three steps that I got from disease to at ease. And those three steps from disease to at ease were very, very easy to say, really, but a lot of hard work to get there, I think. Forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Those are the three: forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Once I got those three sorted out, as in, first of all, forgave myself for all the silly things I did and all the silly mistakes I made and everything else, any pain I brought to anyone else, I had to forgive myself. You always have to start with yourself in life. You remember when you're on a plane and they say, the oxygen, you have to put it over your own mask before you help even the child. You've got to sort yourself out first. So, sorting yourself out first, I think, is really, really important. But forgiveness was the number one. And forgive means to let go of completely. Now, how many of us actually let go of completely, like our story? Now, I've written a story, of course I have. But the bottom line is I'm no longer emotionally attached to it. It's not like, because I could just stop the emotion by forgiveness. Big hi to everyone out there on social media and Instagram. How you doing, guys? Forgiveness is really important. And then I got to a place of acceptance and total acceptance. And when I got to a place of total acceptance, and again, I started with myself, but as I got to total acceptance, I became able to just accept and love everyone. I just got to a really easy place where it is a challenging world. There are challenges around, but it's so much easier if you just accept everything for it is what it is. It is what it is. I can only change certain things in life. The most important thing I can change is myself. And then obviously, like ripples in a pond, that might have positive effects on everyone else. But ultimately, that's the most important thing. It's just to be accepting. So forgiveness and acceptance, and then gratitude. Like literally, someone said to me, get grateful for everything. And I had nothing. I was signing on. I said, yeah, fine. All right, I'll get grateful. I was grateful for my welfare check. I was grateful for my lunch. I was grateful for my mother having a roof over my head. I was grateful for so many things. And once I got grateful for those things, everything else just started to get easier and easier and easier. It was almost like a sort of like magic antidote. It was a magic antidote of just like, just be grateful. And then all of a sudden, everything else just got easier. And as everything got easier, by the way, some people say, it was a long, slow process. Well, maybe, but honestly, 12 years have gone by like that. The last 12 years from bankrupt to today to financially free have just gone boom. And it's been amazing. What a great journey. What a great journey. So therefore, those three things to get you from any kind of disease, and we could talk about disease in a body, but we can also talk about disease being bankruptcy, because when you're not at ease and you're in a bad place, then that's a disease. And so once I realized that I was going through a period of disease and obviously financial stresses, financial disease, I could work on being at ease. And those three things, forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude, and starting with yourself, are massively, massively powerful. Now, of course, there's going to be loads more in Life Remix, the book. There's going to be lots of strategies. There's going to be lots of things you can read. And I hope you'll apply them to your own lives because they will make a difference. They will make a difference. So hopefully that's answers your question. That's it, Ariane. Forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Three very, very important things to start practicing immediately. They're game changers. So as I say, there'll be loads more in the book, but that's just three quick things. And it takes time, by the way. You can't just, you can't go to the gym and all of a sudden come out like you've got huge muscles. You have to commit, don't you? You have to keep going. Next time an emotion happens, next time a thought happens, hang on a minute, maybe I can do something different here. Maybe I can take this a different way and actually say, well, no, hang on a minute, I'm better than this, or I can do this a different way. Once you start to become the observer, always become the observer, is massively important. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate that, mate. What is important is obviously getting yourself into a place where you are nice and centered, nice and balanced. You're not up, down, left, right, here, there, everywhere. You're not any of those things. You're just centered. You're centered, you're focused, you're grateful, you're accepting, and you just forgive yourself and forgive everyone, everything, by the way. And it's quite a challenge. I was pulled up on this by my one of my family members recently, and he said, well, I don't need you to forgive me. I said, no. This is about forgiveness, but it's not about forgiving someone else you think has wronged you or something. It's not about that. It's about just forgiving for your own soul, forgiving for your own sake, forgiving for yourself, for life. Because when you forgive yourself and you can forgive other people for doing what they did, all of a sudden life gets so much easier. I mean, isn't it better for life to be easier? Of course it is. And you'll be so much more successful when you're not wasting loads of time on like thinking all these like busy thoughts. You know what I mean? Forgive, accept, be grateful, bang, and get on with it. And that's how I've changed my life. I've turned my life around completely, like night and day. And I'm really happy to share that with everyone because I think it's important. So hi Martin, welcome to you for joining us. Hi to everyone out there on Facebook and LinkedIn, etc. You're welcome to pop any questions into the chat box if you'd like to. I've got a question here actually. So it's we're going to be focusing on relationships quite a lot this week, and we're going to be doing some social media posts on relationships. And on Wednesday night, I'm going to be joined by Dimple Thakrar, who is platinum member with Tony Robbins. She's high up there, and she's a relationship guru. You're going to love this woman. So we're going to be doing an interview with her on Wednesday evening at 7:30, all about relationships. And just for the schedule, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for a bit of Monday motivation. And then Tuesday night, we've been doing live remix samples. So I'll be back online talking about chapter 2 this week, which is called Good Times. And then Dimple will be with me on Wednesday evening talking about relationships. So it's a good week. It's a good week. It's an exciting week. So yeah, there's a few people out there that are dating at the moment. It's quite interesting. I've had 2 messages, almost from opposite sides of the spectrum, but both having exactly the same problem. So there's a lovely young lady and a great guy. And they both sent me a question, and it's almost exactly the same. It says, I've just met a girl or a guy. You know, I've just met someone. I've just met someone I really like, but she are messing me about a bit at the moment. But I'm wanting to pursue it. What do you think? What should I do? And I've been thinking about this, and obviously I gave them my answers. Obviously, they're good people, close to me, clients, etc. And I mean, first of all, dating at the moment must be tough. Dating in lockdowns. Yeah, I feel for you guys. But yeah, I mean, look, one of the things I said to them is, will this matter in 5 years? Because if you feel that it will matter in 5 years, then of course there's some stuff to deal with. But if it's not going to matter in 5 years' time, you don't need to be carrying around tons of emotion about this, But my most important thing on it is either an asset or a liability. And this is something that Kevin Green talks about in business. He's a business coach and mentor of mine. He talks about an asset or a liability. An asset helps you, uplifts you, puts money in your pocket. If it's a property you're letting out or something like that, it's an asset. It's putting stuff into your pocket. A liability is the opposite. Okay. And at the end of the day, the asset is potentially human beings as well, of course, because an asset can uplift you. An asset can uplift you, can make you feel like, wow, I feel great. This person's in my life. They're helping me. They're uplifting me. They're doing something so special, and it's amazing. And a liability is the opposite, of course. A liability is going to take you down, okay, and it's going to cause you problems. And some people are not a great match for that. Some people, assets and liabilities, they're not a great match, but they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. And they keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. There's a great story in a book called U Squared, when there's a little fly and he's trying to get out the window. He's trying to get out the window and he's bang, 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 bang. He keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. But actually, all he needs to do is turn around and go in the opposite direction, and he'll find his way out and he'll be free. But sometimes he'll just keep going on the window and he'll end up dead there. So, at the end of the day, I think it's really important to understand assets and liabilities in your life, and understand the people that are in your life. And, let's hope, fingers crossed for as many of you as possible, they're assets. They're assets rather than liabilities. We'll talk more about the law of attraction and the way that I've attracted great things into my life by being the best version of me. And by being the best version of me, I've managed to uplift myself to a point where I seem to only attract great things. And I don't believe that's an accident. I believe that that's happened because of my changes and the changes I've done within me that have then lifted me to a higher vibration and allowed me to attract better things and better people into my life. So I hope that helps for a little bit on relationships there. On Wednesday with Dimple, we're going to be talking a lot about the masculine and the feminine, how we're made up of masculine and feminine, all of us, what the masculine needs are, what the feminine needs are, how people can be more successful in their relationships. And by the way, not just intimate relationships, but business relationships and everything. At the end of the day, it's absolutely vital that all of your relationships work. But the same thing in every single relationship is you. You're the consistent bit, right? So you're the consistent bit. So you need to take yourself to a place where you bring the best of you into a relationship. How you doing, Ralphie? Thanks for waving there on Instagram. So many of you watching across all of the platforms. Big love to all of you guys. I love having you with me here on a Sunday evening. Ask Mark Anything every Sunday night. So that's really cool. Yeah, so we've spoken a bit about going from dis-ease and at ease. We've spoken a little bit on relationships, and I've got another great question from Martin as well that came through, and he's nursing a broken leg at the moment. Yeah, listen, mate, I've had many knee problems, especially in the last few years. There's some brilliant information out there if you're prepared to go out and search for it, and you're prepared to learn and study and get yourself moving. And I think it's vital that we learn the mind and the body connection and where we get to with it in our lives. Because if we don't understand the mind-body connection, then all of a sudden things become quite challenging, as I found myself with my knees, and before that with my collapse back when I was like 30, 33 or wherever it was. So this book here, this is a great one. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and you can see that. That's weird. It's bringing up Life Remixed on the screen. How strange. Anyway, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. You guys can see that over there on Instagram. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, so there it is on Instagram. You Can Heal Your Life. There it is for the rest of the world over there. So important that you have a read of Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, because at the back of this book, it's great. It's set out like a therapy session with Louise, so it's really cool. And at the back of it is her story, which is chapter 16, which is, I mean, sometimes we think we've got problems, but you need to read Louise Hay's story. Yeah, You Can Heal Your Life. That's it, Ariane. Thank you. So we're talking a bit about legs and knees, etc. But certainly here under legs, there's what we've got here is a possible emotional reason behind a disease. And then we've also got a mantra that can change your life. So the first one around legs is they carry us forward in life. Well, of course they do. Of course they do. And the mantra is to say, life is for me. Life is for me. Life is for me. And that will come into gratitude, as we were talking about a bit earlier. The other bit here as well is under bones and breaks and fractures. And this is an interesting one. I'll be interested in your feedback on this one. It says here, breaks and fractures, rebelling against authority. And that's interesting in itself, isn't it? Rebelling against authority. And it says, in my world, I am my own authority, for I'm the only one who thinks in my mind. Very interesting. Now, every single person I've read those kind of solutions, if you like, to emotional issues that are behind diseases and problems in the body, I've yet to find anyone who doesn't agree with the analysis that Louise Hay puts in it, which is incredible. But if I talk a bit about rheumatoid arthritis, or basically what took me down with ankylosing spondylitis, that was part of the collapse. It says here, rheumatism, feeling victimized, lack of love, chronic bitterness and resentment. It also says deep criticism of authority and feeling very put upon. I can relate to all of those things around the times rather that I've been most stressed. Those are actually the feelings that I've been going through, and I've used these mantras here in the book. I create my own experiences as I love and approve of myself and others. My experiences get better and better. And also, I am my own authority. I love and approve of myself. Life is good. Now, these two things around rheumatoid arthritis have worked for me. I highly recommend reading this book. I think you'll find it absolutely powerful. Really powerful book. Really interesting and engaging. So hopefully that's helped a few of you there with some Ask Mark Anything questions. I'm just going to go and check here a little bit on Facebook and make sure we haven't got any other things that are coming in. We've got quite a few people joining us, I can see. We've got Simon Tucker, we've got Julia, Atuksha, we've got Simon and Penny. We've got loads of people joining us, so that's great. I hope you're all going to get lots of stuff out of all of these lives we're going to do, because there's going to be a load of them. I was also looking at a few things today. I've actually been changing my vision board around. So one of my main vision boards is here. I've been changing a few things around and going to be putting extra things up there because I keep achieving stuff. I keep achieving stuff, and I keep having to change the vision board because if you don't keep it up to date, you'll end up looking at a load of sort of stale, old goals. So Ariane's just asked me a question: what forgiveness process do you adopt? That's interesting. That's a great question, Ariane. What I would say is that when I understand that forgiveness is to let go of completely, to literally just let go of completely, I just work on myself. I've just been asked if those are my real eyes. Thanks, mate. I think so. Anyway, so as far as forgiveness goes, just letting go of completely is so important. And the way I do it is it's a great story. I've just been watching this program called Ted Lasso on Apple TV. I love it. I absolutely love Ted Lasso. He's an American football coach. He's basically a life coach. And he comes over to coach an English football team in the Premier League. So I love the story anyway, of course. And one of the things he says is that he pulls one of the young players over and he says to him, he says, Sam, come here, because Sam's just been clattered and Sam's ready to go and launch in and revenge and, and go for it. And he calls him over and he says, Sam, do you know what the happiest animal on the planet is? And he says, what, coach? He's the happiest animal on the planet. Do you know what it is, Sam? He goes, no, I don't know. He goes, it's a goldfish. And by this time, Sam's like, what? He says, it's a goldfish. Do you want to know why? 10-second memory. Now, all of you people watching, every single one of you watching this, just imagine yourselves with a 10-second memory. Like, you can't remember what I was saying when I even came onto this live 20 minutes ago. 10-second memory. Now, none of us are going to have that because we've been gifted with a memory and a mind and we can remember things a long way. You know what I mean? Of course we can. But if you remove the emotional attachment to the memory, just be a goldfish. Just remove the emotional attachment, move on. You've still got the memory, of course you have. But you're not emotionally, you're not with it. It's not anger, it's not fear, it's not doubt, it's not worry, it's not anxiety. It's none of those things. And now I've just found that as a really interesting way to do it. Now, of course, I made my changes when I got to rock bottom. And I know many of you guys are not there, and I really hope and pray that you won't end up at rock bottom. Some of you might be, though, of course, with this worldwide crisis. Some of you might well be in a bit of a funk, in a bit of a bad time, and it's okay. It's all right. I'll tell you now, in 5 years' time, this won't really matter. We'll have moved on. We'll be doing something completely different. So all you got to do is hold on. Yeah. And if you need to rebuild your life, rebuild it in a different way, in a better way. Because that's all I did 12 years ago. I promise you that. 12 years ago, I just rebuilt. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because otherwise, I might have just been like bouncing along, DJing, picking up a little bit of money here and there, but just sort of living not a great life. Well, today, me and my wife went out for a drive in our beautiful new car. It's great. Life is good. Life is good. You deserve good things. Every one of you deserves good things. And I've got absolute love and appreciation for all of you. I think it's so important. If I show you this quickly, this not high tech or anything, but it's a really important piece of information. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's the difference between ignorance and knowledge. And most people live a life, if you don't know about stuff, and by the way, there's loads of things that I'm ignorant about. Ignorant is not a negative word. It just means you don't know. That's it. You just don't know about it. But loads of people live in ignorance. You guys can see that? Loads of people live in ignorance, and it takes you down. That ignorance can take you down straight through that worry, doubt, down to fear, anxiety, then suppressed anxiety, which people end up taking medication for. Yeah. And then down into depression and disease. And that's the process. That's the absolute process, just down, 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 And it's very easy. It's a very easy spiral to get into if you're not careful. If you're not watching those thoughts and those emotions, you can spiral very, very quickly, mentally and physically. So it's so important to be in this side of the stream. And this is a lot from Think and Grow Rich as well, by Napoleon Hill, one of the most important books ever written. Get knowledge in all you do. Get knowledge, get understanding. Because when you do that, you'll end up with faith, well-being. You can express yourself and you'll be at ease. And that's the side of the stream to get into. Because once you start to head up, yeah, you can all see that, guys. Every social media platform can see that. But once you can see that, you're absolutely just going to be going up and up and up and up and up. And that's the exciting bit. That's the bit where you want to get to. That's the fun bit. And that's all I've done. I've just got knowledge. I've just focus, study. And all you do, get understanding. Because the bottom line is if you don't know, then you're just going to sink down. And the funny thing is, in the current world, by the way, is that even if you think you've got all the knowledge, I promise you haven't. I promise you, you haven't. There is always something new to learn. One of my friends said to me, every day is a school day. So important, every day is a school day. Because if you think you know everything, perish the thought. Because that's when life will come back and bite you on the arse. So if you think you know everything about relationships, or you're the master of it, or everything else, I promise you, it's not ideal. Get learning, get studying, understand what's going on. If you've got any challenges, I guarantee you there's someone, a human being, has written a book about it, right? And they'll be putting it out there and you can read it, okay? Someone did ask me as well, what are the most important books you've ever read? Excuse me. If you go to markwilkinsonofficial.com, you can have a look at all of my recommended reading. I've got a load of recommended reading there. There's links you can click through to Waterstones to buy them as well. I'll give you a quick run through, excuse me. Of course, You Can Heal Your Life, we've been speaking about tonight. Got a few of them here. The Secret, very, very important book. And by the way, if you don't like reading, just sign up to Audible and get an audio book, all right? Because at the end of the day, there's no excuses. You know, if you need to immerse yourself in information to learn something, then I suggest you do it. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. That book there is obviously what The Secret was based on. Think and Grow Rich. My copy there, signed by Bob Proctor, which I'm very happy about. There it is, the forward from Bob. I met Bob, he's a great lad, and yeah, I look forward to meeting him again. Some other great ones here: Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. That's a beauty. And The Rich Rules by my mentor, Kevin Green, here in the UK. The Rich Rules, Steps to Wealth and Happiness. Absolutely brilliant book. A couple more. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Tiny little book, but absolutely wonderful information. Look how small it is. It's tiny, and we'll read some stuff out of these books as we go through the weeks and months. And then The Way of the Superior Man, the last one, last but not least, absolutely, The Way of the Superior Man by David Dida. The name of that book, The Way of the Superior Man, puts a lot of people off, I've noticed. Some people are like, well, you know, superior, what, you think you're better? No. It's actually about not being a mediocre man, but being a superior man. So being a better version of yourself. When I was younger, very mediocre at best. You can ask some of the people in my life, but I wasn't the best young guy. I did my best, but my best was a bit wayward, to be honest. But at the end of the day, The Way of the Superior Man taught me about being a superior man and being able to be successful in health, wealth, relationships, business, the entire piece. So thanks so much for being with us tonight, guys. I've really appreciated your company tonight. Thanks to everyone on Instagram. I love you guys for being here. Excuse me. You can watch these replays all back. They're on across all the social media channels. Excuse me. That's my dinner. They're across all of the social media channels. I'm going to be here again at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And then 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday evening, doing live remix samples. And 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday night with Dimple Thakrar, the relationship guru. You're going to love Dimple. She's incredible. So that's it for now. Thanks also for being in touch, you guys. Hi to Michelle, all the rest of you guys over there on Instagram, across all the social medias. I've loved being here. Do watch these videos back. Do share them. I'll be back at 8 a.m. for Monday Motivation. Until then, love you lots, guys. See you later. Cheers.